Hello everyone. Today we will be looking at the steps required to mesh a serrated fan blade in GridPro. This is part 1 of a two-part series. Today we will mesh the entire region except for the blade tip and shroud. The fan blade has a smaller chord length at the bottom as compared to the top. There are also serrations starting from halfway through the length of the blade. Today we will discuss how we start the topology using a bottom-up approach, starting from the hub and extruding it close to the tip of the blade. In this video you will learn how to use internal wraps to address the large periodic angle, how to create a periodic grid, how to improve the quality of the grid. First we create a 2D sheet for the hub of the blade. We need to make sure that the flow of blocks is from inlet to leading edge and is from outlet to trailing edge. We assign the corners that represent the blade surface. Wrap the corners assigned to the blade surface. We now align the grid to the hub surface to get a curved sheet as seen. We now extrude the geometry just below the tip of the blade. As the blade increases in chord length, the sheet needs to be appropriately scaled up. Make sure to select workplane center while copying the sheet. This retains the curvature of the sheet. The sheet may have to be manually moved back down close to the tip. This occurs because the coordinate system is not perfectly positioned with the geometry. Some corners might have to be repositioned so they do not intersect with the blade surface. The sheet also has to be rotated as the blade rotates from the lower to upper end. Now we add inserts along the blade length and also make sure to add inserts at each crest and trough along the blade. We link the corresponding corners just above the tip of the blade. Then we select the corners that are assigned to the blade surface in one of the corner groups and wrap them. According to the shape of the blade, as we want the blocks to flow from inlet to periodic above the blade and from periodic to outlet below it, we select those sheets and create an internal wrap there as well. To prevent high aspect ratio cells at the periodic surface is close to the shroud, we need to create an internal wrap through a sheet in the middle of the geometry. We might need to add an insert before the last sheet at either periodic, as the sheet which is to be wrapped must neither be assigned to the blade nor must it be assigned to the periodic surface. Now we will assign the sheet of corners to the duplicate shroud surface that is present close to the tip of the blade. We assign all the other surfaces as well, that is the hub, the inlet and the outlet, and the periodics. The periodic assignment can only be done if the number of faces and edge densities on the left and rightmost sheets match. Open the periodic tab under Assignments. GridPro will automatically detect the pair of sheets if everything is correct. If a pair is not detected, it would mean that the number of faces on either sheet do not match. The case is a rotational periodic case, and the inputs are given in the window as shown. We now delete the sheets that lie above the duplicate shroud. Make sure to change the surface type to boundary. To make sure that the corners assigned to the blade do not lie inside the blade surface, we use the edge length tool to move the sheets away from the blade. As the block edges are crisscrossing on one another, after using the edge length tool, we run grid for a few thousand sweeps and then align the topology to the grid. The corners near the blade might have to be repositioned after aligning to the grid. I am repositioning a few corners. Similarly, the other corners can be repositioned. The grid preview on a 2D sheet near the blade tip helps us visualize the edge densities. A smooth transition from higher to lower edge densities is required. That is, there should not be a sudden change in the size of cells on different edges. The densities on the edges are changed accordingly as shown. The grid is now generated. We can check the quality by clicking on Quality in the Grid tab. With this we come to the end of today's tutorial. If you have any questions on the steps or any comments, feel free to leave it below. If you want us to post tutorials on any specific geometries, you could write to us on support@gridpro.com.